Though the new Fantastic Beasts trailer has its own visual ways to fill the audience up with an emotional weight, the most significant one is evidently the musical theme of Harry Potter at the end of the trailer. The reason why this powerful piece of music written by John Williams has this kind of an effect on us is because of how familiar we have become with it. It's this magical relationship between our minds and this music that hurls us into this emotional rollercoaster by the end of not only this trailer but all the title sequences and pivotal points and right before the credit sequences across all 7 films of the Harry Potter franchise. Hi and welcome to Last Minute Critic. Today's video is about the use of musical motifs in cinema. But first of all, what are motifs? A motif is an element that carries symbolic significance and repeats itself several times throughout a narrative. Motifs are sometimes static, but mostly they evolve along with the arc of the storyline. The point is to establish an emotional, nostalgic appeal and a relationship between character or characters or themes to the psyche of the audience. There are motifs everywhere and of every kind. There are motifs in literature, such as recurring tropes like damsel in distress, wicked witch, prince charming. There are visual motifs in art, such as recurring themes in pop art about consumerism, capitalism. There are motifs in music videos and pop music. There are motifs in television series, such as this. There are motifs in theatre productions, pop music, cartoons. They're everywhere basically, and they have a very important job to play. But we will get to that. But what about motifs in cinema? If you look at these examples carefully, you'll find a really interesting pattern. Each of these recurring visuals act as a symbolic reference or references to powerful messages embedded in the film, in the plot line. Clothes represented by colors in Mr. Nobody is the theme of choice and decision in the film. Passing through glass, which is an action in Harry Potter Prisoner of Azkaban, foreshadows the theme of self-reflection. The balloon as an item in It reflects immediate omen. Crowd worship, which are scenes in Dawn of Justice, shows heroism. Even the Tamil actor Vivek, who plays a lot of characters in a lot of Tamil films, he acts as the motif for the comic element in all of these plots. Not all, but most of it. In a brilliant deconstruction of musical tropes in the Lord of the Rings series, Evan Pusak explains leitmotifs as an operatic technique popularized by Richard Wagner that fuses musical themes with specific people, events, or places to aid and in some cases augment the dramatic development of a story. The most popular example is probably Darth Vader's theme in Star Wars. Another good one out of the ambit of cinema is The Reigns of Castamere, which is the Lannister song, a representation of a specific people, but acts as a vital key to understand the Lannisters' involvement in the Red Wedding, which is an event. The key to understanding how Pixar makes you cry is by understanding how they use music in their films. Though a seemingly easy task where you would expect that the sad scenes are presented with sad music and happy scenes with happy music, it's not that simple.
And I try and search for, okay, if I can sum up my feeling in one chord, what's that going to be? And for the film here, it was this. That chord right there, I mean, basically, it's not F, it's not C, it's almost both. It's, an F major seventh, what it has is the tinge of sadness to it. I don't know, there's something about that chord that is very, it kind of reaches back.
Pixar composers write music that encapsulates the characters or relationships between these characters, and they keep repeatedly using the same music in scenes of significance. The beauty lies in the how, the where, and the why in using these motifs. Musical motifs go a long way in developing the intimate relationship between fans and franchising movies. In franchising movies, since the pop culture bubbles are probably going to have a longer shelf life than standalone films, the filmmakers depend heavily on character establishment and character development. And to do exactly those, they need emotional and psychological cues for characters, events, places, and such. This phenomena, interestingly, is actually quite popular in the video game industry as well, particularly role-playing games. Let's take a close look at Disney's latest installment, Coco. I took Coco's example because of its contemporary relevance, it being a fairly recent animated film. But one more reason is that Pixar has mastered the art of musical motifs in cinema, and it just wouldn't do justice to not mention Pixar in a discussion on musical motifs. The story revolves around a kid who loves music but is banned from having anything to do with music by his family. Story starts where he finds out that his great-great-grandfather might have been his biggest idol, Ernesto de la Cruz, the world's best musician. Around here, a significant amount of emphasis is given to his favorite de la Cruz song, which is titled Remember Me. The story is not that simple, as there are multiple plot twists along the way, especially around the theme of being forgotten. I can't talk about the pivotal points of the film without revealing major spoilers, but let me tell you this. This song has a very significant symbolic meaning that provides the closure at the end of the film. The way Pixar went about the film using this song in various parts of the film reinforces a certain emotional quotient and a key character essence that is shared by three different characters, but each in their own way.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me. Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar, know that I'm with you.
Right from a simple yet deeper understanding of Alzheimer's to the whole notion of being legendary, this song transcends cultures, emotions, and psyches of characters to becoming a transcendental key in solving the tensions in this absolutely phenomenal animated film on family, passion, and forgiveness. Let's go back to Harry Potter because, like Lord of the Rings or The Fast and the Furious, it's a mega franchise and a lot goes into the ancillaries of film elements. Hedwig's theme was written by John Williams.
Hedwig needed some music that was gossamer, light, and so I thought celeste, which is the little keyboard instrument, is like a mini piano, and each note on it, you play it like a piano, but each note is kind of like a bell. And it has a pedal like a piano, so if you play 5 quick notes and put the pedal on, you get this beautiful little blur.
It's the same theme but a different arrangement every time. As Harry and his friends grew older throughout the films, so did the fan base. The filmmakers, however, ran the extra mile of even letting the film's aesthetic to pass through the foliage of time and age. The theme serves a severe nostalgic purpose. The theme too, along with the rest of us, grew older, wearier, and deeply darker as we got to learn more and more about the deep, dark secrets of the wizarding world. There is a lot of musical foreshadowing in the use of Lily's theme as well, how it's used to build Severus Snape's arc, but that's another story altogether. Credits to John Newton Howard, Alexander Desplat, Nicholas Hooper, and Patrick Doyle, all of who have contributed to this metamorphosis of William's theme. In the Tamil film Alavandan, later dubbed in Hindi as Abhay, the psychotic antagonist has his own eerie and dark sort of a tune that he keeps humming. It's basically the tune for the title track for the movie written by music maestro Shankar Mahadevan.
கடவுள் பாதி மிருகம் பாதி கலந்து செய்த கலவை நான் வெளியே மிருகம் உள்ளே கடவுள் விளங்க முடியா கவிதை நான் மிருகம் கொன்று கடவுள் வளர்க்க பார்க்கின்றேன் ஆனால் கடவுள் கொன்று உணவாய் தின்று மிருகம் மட்டும் வளர்கிறதே நந்தகுமாரா நாளை மிருகம் கொல்வாயா மிருகம் தின்ற எச்சம் கொண்டு மீண்டும் கடவுள் செய்வாயா குரங்கில் இருந்து மனிதன் என்றால் மனிதன் இரையாய் கணிப்பானா மிருக ஜாதியில் பிறந்த மனிதா தேவஜோதையில் கலப்பாயா கடவுள் பாதி மிருகம் பாதி கலந்து செய்த கலவை நான் வெளியே மிருகம் உள்ளே கடவுள் விளங்க முடியா கவிதை நான் மிருகம் கொன்று கடவுள்.
This song throughout the film turns into this symbolic representation of Abhay or his involvements or his thinking process, whatever. You can see it in sequences such as this chase scene. And also in parts which are more obscure. Take a look at this scene from the film.
हाँ तो मिस्टर अग्रवाल कुछ मिला आपको? जी सर बैल पर फिंगरप्रिंट के निशान बने हुए हैं। क्या नंबर है? सर नंबर है 2434 ऐसा नंबर दिल्ली में तो क्या पूरे इंडिया में नहीं होगा। सर ठीक से देखिए शुरू में कहीं जीरो तो नहीं है? नहीं सर नंबर तो यही है। STD भी नहीं है समझ में नहीं।
This scene is particularly genius because in this scene the clue that the police find doesn't make sense to any of the characters, but to the audience it's a visual as well as an oral reference to Abhay's involvement in the crime scene. So in a way, the dial numbers were not intended for the characters in the film, but rather an important clue and statement left by the antagonist, intended for the audience. In its own way, this is breaking the barriers of conventional narratives, and it immerses the audience into the film itself, making it almost participatory. This is an example of peak utilization of musical motifs in film narration. As Evan Pushak puts it, the importance of music in film is often overshadowed by the other elements. It's an invisible layer of pure emotion that guides or challenges us and the drama itself. To disregard the music in cinema is to disregard an entire narrative aspect of the work of art. This is why we shouldn't be passive consumers of film and rather actively participate in watching and understanding cinema. Because each film is embedded with layers and layers of narratives that the filmmakers and collaborators are trying to pass on. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is Chiranjeev signing out.